Here we go. It's the Kopite podcast.
Well, everybody, welcome to the Kopite podcast where Matt Ramirez is a total fucking knobhead. Breath. Leave it to the old people, Matthew.
Oh, it's the best thing that's happened.
Right. The best thing that's happened tonight. We've got Doug on the channel from the DougOut.
Hello, Doug.
Podcast. Welcome
Hello.
to Doug. Doug, we might as well start with you, mate, because you might be the most optimistic out of the lot of us. What we just lost 1-0 to Southampton, and it was one shot on target. What can try and make us feel better, Doug? Please, I beg you.
There's not much I can say, really. It was just an absolute shit show tonight. Absolute shit show. I mean, how can you have one shot on target against a goalkeeper who hasn't played since May 2019? It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really is. Like, we've done the team news. Obviously, we've done the team news pods, and we're like, right, Thiago starting, Ox is starting, creativity and abundance, the usual fellas. Obviously, we knew we'd have a lot of the ball, so Fab and Hendo wasn't an issue. And then they go and score in what? I don't know how quick it was. 2 minutes.
100 seconds.
Fucking hell, it's a fucking boss goal, but it's so preventable. Like, the ball over the top, quality, fair enough. Trent, give it just fucking dive and head it, old school style, or kick it as hard as you can. Don't try and like chest it or whatever you've tried to do. But yeah, then Ingsy scores off it, and you're just like, yeah, you're like, fair enough. Boss goal, but there's plenty of time. Like, sometimes there's that old saying, like, you can score too early, which is what we've done against West Brom, and they got back in the game. So you're thinking, right, we've got plenty of time here. But Jay,
the same fucking story again, mate. Sorry to cut you off there. It's the same fucking story again. You have a piss poor early minutes, and the writing's on the wall where you think we're not going to fucking get anything from this, and we created absolutely jack shit. And I was so optimistic with that lineup and the creativity. You just thought, yes, we'll fucking sort this. And let's face it, we're not under threat all the time from these teams that we're playing in terms of, shots coming at the defence and coming at Alisson. That's not our problem. Our problem, mate, is going fucking forward, which has never been our fucking problem under Klopp. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But for me, the one thing I'm going to take from this is when you're putting Henderson and Fabinho at the back, don't get me wrong, I didn't have a problem with it at the beginning because I thought we had enough going forward. But the issue is now is you're taking out two massive influences in that midfield that gives that impetus to go forward, because Fab gives you the protection and Hendo's can be quite creative, and it gives you that impetus to going forward. You're taking that out now, and we've got fuck all protection. We've got fuck all going on. So now is the time. Now in January, we need to go not sign one centre back. We need fucking two. That's what we need now. We need two fucking centre backs. Well, it's so evident.
It could be. I'm trying to put a positive spin on it. That could be a blessing in disguise. That Klopp goes, right, you know what? I fucking need a centre half or three at the minute, because we know Reece Williams and Nat Phillips, when called upon, have done okay. Reece Williams maybe better so than Nat Phillips has, but even still, he's come in and done a job at what's asked of him. So
why weren't they playing though, Mick? That's what I want to know. If they've been playing, at least one of them's been playing every game with Fab, why weren't either of them there today? Do you know what I mean? I just don't get it. Something's gone on.
Yeah, he's trying to play. He's playing. I can see. Obviously, we were happy with the lineup, so it's difficult to then go back and go, it was shit. But you can say that after we've just lost to Southampton, because there was, like you said, Jay. There was. It doesn't even matter about like the goal. It was great goal, but not a time we had to turn that round. It wasn't good enough, was it, Matt? We'll come to you because I don't want you to fall asleep over there.
I'm just so dejected. Start with the lineup. I was happy enough with the lineup, apart from Ox. I love Ox when he's fully fit and sharp, and that guy is so far from sharp that, I mean, he's blunter than a 1950s dagger. He's mate. Thiago, he was all right for a bit, and then he wasn't. It's just, apart from a centre back, we just need someone to come in, and Mane did all right. All things considered.
Mane, if you're going to say anybody, Mane was the best player. If you're going to pick anybody else.
I feel like Salah's been dreadful since Jota got injured, and he's just been like, all right, I can calm down again because no one's going to take my spot. So Jota needs to come back quickly just to shove a rocket up Salah's ass.
Every one of them just looked so disinterested, didn't they? Every one of them was just like, they came out the second half fucking sulking. It looked like they'd had an absolute fucking spanking off Klopp. Well, yeah, we'll fucking have a bit of oomph about it. Do you want to win this fucking league or not?
Yeah, but they came out in the second half. At half time, the Saints players are coming out looking well ready for a fight. And the Liverpool players are coming out looking so sad. Like, you've got 45 more minutes. Like, you've got one of the most inspiring managers at your back. Surely come out like ready to rip them apart, not like you don't want to be there. It's just so frustrating. It's
Doug, the one thing I want to ask you, mate, and Mick, I'll go between the two of you on this one. I said the other week that we didn't really need to get too disheartened about what had going on, mainly because it was still in our hands type thing. Do you know what I mean? We all we had to do was just rely on ourselves. Now, after that result, that's officially gone out the window now. That it's no longer in our hands, if you like. At the end of the day, we're not in May. Still plenty of things to happen. It's a long way to go. But with that now being joint top of the league, with playing a game more than Manchester United, we've got to play them next anyway. That has just made that game even more massive than it needed to be.
Yeah,
it already was.
It's a massive game coming up. I mean, if you don't get up for a Manchester United game, then you shouldn't be at the club. In all honesty, that's a huge game now, and I really hope we absolutely batter them, because they need a down a peg or two, because they've been so arrogant. So arrogant about their chances. I mean, I've seen lots of YouTube channels actually thinking that they could actually go and do us at Anfield. But if we play like that tonight, Trent Alexander-Arnold was probably the worst player on the pitch. Lost the ball 38 times, which is the most in the Premier League this season. Absolutely awful. If we play like that, they will do us.
Mick, it's a commodity that you shouldn't lose, really, should you? When you've got it, when the league's in your control at the time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just so disheartening, like, because I've got a load of like Man United mates texting me, just giving me a load of grief and just like fuck off. But it's like we didn't like, the thing is, if we played well enough and we'd got a draw, like we nicked a draw at the end there, you'd be like, yeah, fair enough. We've played okay in the second half. At least we were shit in the first half. Might be our worst first half in the league so far. And you're just hoping, you're just wishing for a goal, like towards the end. Like towards the end, when we were having some like cross into the box, I was like, yeah, nothing's happening here. And that's not what you'd expect of a Liverpool team. You'd expect creativity. Like Shaq coming on was good, and he done well when he came on. He gave us an extra outlet ball, and he was providing it, like trying to carve them open, and he did it a couple of times. But it's just the end product that, like you said, Jay, that's what we're missing. And like Alex has said there, we look terrified to shoot, and we're trying to pass it into the box. Right. I don't know if it's like the blueprint's been founded, sit behind the ball, and then like because of the run of games we've been on, obviously Allardyce has done it, then Bruce has done it, and then they've got an early goal. Well within your right to do it against us, because you're coming up against supposedly the best team in the league. So to be fair, reigning champions, you're well within your right to go, right, we've got a goal, go ahead, 10 men behind the ball, everyone fight for your lives, and if we get a draw or we get a win, fucking hell, let's be made up about it. And that's what they did. And it's like, we need to yeah, Johnny, like you said there, mate, no energy or urgency, that was it. Like,
yeah, the thing is, right, I'll give you that for the second half, because the second half, Southampton, fair play, do it, sit behind the ball and get your 3 points. But for that first half, the amount of times that we were actually on the counter and in behind, and they somehow managed to mess it up, whether it's Salah getting in someone else's way, or the passes are shocking and we're through and we mess it up, and the passing is so bad. It doesn't hurt, but it's just so frustrating, because you see what we can be, and then you see what we're doing at the moment, and it's just, the passes are going nowhere. The crosses into the box, they're just crossing it in for no one. I don't know. I lost count of how many times we crossed it in. Their centre-backs were winning everything. Southampton looked so comfortable. Newcastle at midweek looked so comfortable, and that's not a word that we're used to using to describe Liverpool's opposition. You shouldn't be comfortable against Liverpool, and that's what it is.
Doug, does this give Klopp a headache where he goes, right, I honestly now need to go and get 2 centre-backs. I can't be sort of stubborn and say I'm all right with what we've got, because that has been sort of the attitude, hasn't it, really? And we've gone along with it, haven't we, really? Because we've enjoyed some of the Reece Williams' performance. We've enjoyed Nat Phillips going in. Fabinho's been fantastic. But I think now getting to this point in the season now where we need Fabinho back in that midfield, and we need some real stability at centre half, don't we?
Yeah, badly do. I mean, if I was Klopp today, I'd probably go out for that Kabak at Schalke, or I would probably go for Pershers. We just need somebody at centre back. Fabinho's done a very good job there, no denying that. But you are right, we are needing that Fab back in the midfield. But right now, I would just have anyone at centre back now. Anyone who is Premier League experienced as well.
Mick, are you grateful of this break that we're going to have now?
I am, because, and it's difficult because when I've talked about Liverpool in the past, like sometimes you don't do as well after the break. We're better when the games come thick and fast and we've got no time to think and we can just kind of carry on, because usually we're recently anyway, been in a good vein of form over the last couple of years on the clock, and we kind of just want the next game because you just battered someone. Next game, give us the next fella, give us them, we'll beat them as well. Whereas now it's kind of like sometimes a break can kind of give you too much time to think, and you've got too much. Yeah, I don't know. I think that is a thing. You can have too much time between games that you can kind of like. You're doing training sessions, you're like, right, boys, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this. Was like, is it going to become a point where it's like counterproductive? I don't know. It's difficult to say because we can't see what's going on in the training ground, whatever. But yeah, it's
true. Well, Matt, I think when you look at it, and Mick, you've just made a good point there. How do you look at it from each angle? But Matt, I say a break. We've got to fucking play Aston Villa in the FA Cup before we play Manchester United. So do you now play a second string in the FA Cup? Or do you say to the players, right, you're back on the pitch, you're going to play Aston Villa, get some retribution for the league game, knock them out the cup, but also get some fucking form behind you and play the first 11?
I put the first 11 in because they're clearly lacking some form of confidence. I don't know what the hell it is, but they're lacking something. And this isn't, you can't put the kids in and then give the first 11 a 2-week break after what they've just done. And then hope that they somehow manage to put it together against United. You know what the frustrating thing is? That they probably will bring it up against you. They'll probably be fine against United. We probably, and likelihood is we will beat United. But it's so frustrating knowing that we can do that to what is going to be a title rival at the end of the day, because they are where they are, regardless if they're playing well or not. And then against
I love your confidence there, Matt, that we're going to beat Man United.
It'd be the most cool thing to do as well. When we had Paul Konchesky, I knew that we'd beat the big teams. But we'll probably go beat United, and the teams that we should be beating, we're just letting them walk all over us. But yeah, I think that the first 11 need to play in the cup and just get some confidence back.
Well, an interesting comment here, Mick, from Johnny, because Johnny said that we should play the second string, but he's put, we're not interested in the cup, which I agree. I'm not asked about the FA Cup, I want the league again, and don't need motivate for United game. He's absolutely spot on in that respect, where everyone should be excited for Man United, shouldn't they, Mick? But it's the way the mindset is of the players now, where we're in such a poor run of form. Is that going to affect us going into the game against United?
I think it will. I agree with what you boys have just said. Like we were talking on the team news show, like Reece Williams and Nat Phillips against Villa. Like that's probably going to be a nailed on starting partnership centre half. Like it's definitely not going to be now. Like I understand what Johnny's saying here. Like can't afford any more injuries, but we need to force ourselves into form. Like we're just so blunt. That spark just seems to that spark that you expect of a Liverpool front three, or like even like attacking midfielders. It's just been like it's been put out, and it's like where's it gone? Like, what are your thoughts on that, Doug? Do you think it's just like what do you think the team's going to be for the Villa game next game?
I think it'll be mixed. I think we might see Kelleher in goal. I think Alisson needs a break. I think he's been. I think he deserves a break. I think we might see Alexander-Arnold. I think he has to play again because he was shocking tonight. I would also say that probably we'll see maybe Phillips and maybe Reece Williams at the back, and then I think Robertson will probably play again, which you don't really want. But we might see Fabinho in the midfield. I think it might be Fabinho, Jones, possibly Hendo again, and then I think probably front three, maybe Shaqiri, Minamino, maybe Origi. That would be.
Yeah, I think Origi might come back in.
Before
Origi might come back in.
Before we move on, I want to touch on that what you said about Trent as well, because it's not just Trent. Let's not get it twisted. It's all of them at the moment. But with Trent, you can just see, apart from the fact he's so out of form, he's so low on confidence. You can just see it in his face.
Yeah,
he doesn't want the ball. Mick pointed it out in his Newcastle that he's telling Robbo to come over and take his set pieces. Like he is our best set piece taker, and he doesn't want the ball at his feet. And you could just tell today that it's not a case of getting pumped up for the United match. He'll do that. He'll be fine in terms of like up for the fight. But with the ball at his feet, confidence isn't something that you can just snap up. Like he needs to play against Villa to get that confidence, because a lack of confidence in Trent against United is not something that I want to see.
Yeah,
no,
you can see
absolutely not.
Go on, Doug. Sorry.
Absolutely not. And the fact is, I think the away form is a big concern. That's 4 wins in 15 Premier League games now away from home. It's not a good run.
No, absolutely not, mate. I mean, like we said off air, Mick, didn't we? Doug's just made a really good point there. We're lucky to be up where we are, given the form that we've had. And it's mad. We should be, in a normal season. I know all the situations affecting every team. We should be a lot lower down than we are. So we need to take that as a positive. If we're going to take anything from that tonight, we've got to stay positive in that way, where our next league game is against the team we need to play at the minute, isn't it, really? Because we can, one, like Doug said, knock them down a peg or two and open up a little bit of a gap-ish.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the Premier League away form here. We're 11th in the league if you just take away form. 11 points out of a possible 27. Jesus Christ, that is horrendous. That is so it's. I think Man United's game in hand as well. I think it's Burnley, isn't it? I think they've got Burnley away. So we've got to pray for a miracle. Chris Wood turns into fucking the fat Ronaldo and scores an hat-trick or whatever. Or we've got to pray for a miracle, and then we've got to hope that the thing is, like, trying to put a positive spin on again. Like, it surely can't get any worse. Like, we've saw the last 2 games where we've been blunt as anything, like Matt said, but we were even blunter tonight. This is like the lowest you could be, and surely that
is that enough. Doug's had enough. Doug's out of there.
He's back again. He's back again. You can't surely get any worse than we have been. So if anything can come out of this, it's right, boys. Don't do what you did against Southampton on that day where we got fucking absolutely our pants pulled down and got our ass slapped and like got sent home.
Yeah,
I think that, to be fair, a loss will hit the players a lot harder than a draw. I just want to put a question to you guys. Do you think the poor form or the air of arrogance, shall we say, has come from the fact that we did batter Crystal Palace 7-0? Because it's all gone downhill from there.
It has. It's a bit of a freak, isn't it, really, that result, given the way our A form's been. I don't know if it is arrogance. I just think that we might just caught Palace on an off day and everything we hit was going in. But you look at the results that surround it and we still can't hit the fucking barn door with a banjo because it's really frustrating. But then again, having said that, we're not fucking creating anything. You know what I mean? It's not a case of we're not getting the chances. The creativity again was fucking shit tonight, and I'm sick to death of trying to walk it in. There's been plenty of times where we were taking too many touches on the outside of the area, taking too many touches inside the box. Just fucking hit the ball, hit it at the defence, and see if it fucking comes off somebody. We should have been testing Fraser Forster today. We should have been fucking twatting the ball against him. We really should have, and that's so frustrating. Something needs to fucking change, and this has gone on long enough, and I'm getting fucking frustrated. And it's 10:25, and I'm still on this fucking podcast. No offense, love you both, but I'm fucking annoyed.
Yeah. Like Ox is put in there because he's been told, obviously, right, have as many shots as you can. Like, their first choice is keepers out. Fraser Forster hasn't played since he was fucking, I don't know, about 4 years ago. He's a big bastard, but just have shots at him, and it's like we didn't even. There's a couple of times where you could see Ox maybe winding up, and he just doesn't do it because he doesn't want to. It's usually like Trent, for example, is that he's the king of going, right, if I play this ball and it's a perfect and it gets cut out, sound, but if it gets through and we score off it, I look like a genius. And it's like that little thing has been took out of his brain. And he's like, I don't want to play that ball. Whereas now he's just kind of going, right, I'll kill this behind to Salah and hope, rather than just kind of playing it into areas where we know we can do it. Like there's a couple of crossfield balls to Robertson, and you're like, that's the Trent we know and love, but it just wasn't there tonight. Like, and he comes off with like probably 15 minutes to go, and there's no strop. He's like, yeah, fair enough, I was shit there. That tells you it all, doesn't it? Like he was happy to come off, and it was the same in the Newcastle game. He was kind of just like, it's just like, wait, just get me off the field, or like someone just take over and score. Someone do something where I can take the back seat. That was the kind of mentality, and that's what's let us down. There's been too many people doing that, hasn't there, Matt?
You know, it's been bad when our most creative player over the last 2 years gets hooked off when we're needing a goal.
Yeah,
yeah.
And you can see he's trying to play himself back into. He's trying to play and get himself more confidence, but instead of playing the pass that's on, he's trying to get that assist, and he's trying the cute ball in behind that it's not on, and he's just hoping against hope that it's going to come off, and then no doubt he gets that assist, and then he's back to the worries are off his shoulders, and he's back to being Trent. But he's rushing it, and he's looking for stuff that isn't there, and it's not going to happen if he keeps doing that. I think Klopp needs to get in his ear, and like I said, it's not just him, but it's just he's the one that's visibly out of confidence compared to the rest of them.
Well, you can see it tonight. Like every time, it was Robbo Mane. Every time you thought, right, we're gonna have an all right attack here. Might not anything come of it. Like obviously, like you said, Jay Mane was by far and away. I don't know if you said that before we started recording or after, but he was by far and away our man of the match. Like we were just giving him the ball, going, right, Sadio, please fucking do something. And it's like he's capable of it, and he did it. But it's just like they'd get a little nick on it, or like the keeper would get it, and you're just like, oh my god, it's just one of them. And that was the story of the game, weren't it, Doug? That there was little moments where a bit of genius was created, and it was just like they were just, luck was on their side in terms of like little nicks off defenders and whatever.
We have to give credit to Southampton. I thought they defended really, really well.
Absolutely.
Wonderful goal from Danny Ings as well. And yeah, I mean, I'm just frustrated at the fact that we've only had one shot at goal the whole game against the goalkeeper who has played for Celtic last season up in Scotland, and then all of a sudden, he comes in and we hardly test him. That's the most disappointing thing about tonight, is that we hardly tested Fraser Forster. But you could see how much it meant to Hasenhüttl at the end. I think he hadn't beaten us as well, so you could see the emotion from him. Because to be fair, Walker Peters against Mane was a good battle tonight. I thought Walker Peters was very good. So just really, really unfortunate. But credit goes to Southampton. They got the win, and unfortunately we just went on a night where if we played for another 30 minutes, we probably wouldn't have scored. That's the reality.
Yeah. True. Well, one thing that before we finish, I want to bring up. I'm going to be bringing up. I don't want to go out there on a limb and say, I'm moaning about VAR, but there was an incident in the first half where they checked for a penalty, and it was never a penalty on Salah, but the ball had come off the Southampton player to go out for a corner, and it was clear, but we didn't get the corner from that, so that baffled me. What are you checking for? Check for the actual thing that happened. And then the handball. Now, probably in normal circumstances, I wouldn't say that was handball, because he's turning away from it. You can't put your arms when you're going down or whatever. It's not a penalty in normal circumstances. However, if Andy Robertson can kick Welbeck's toenail off and it's a fucking penalty, the amount of handballs that we've seen given and players falling over themselves and getting penalties, how's that not a fucking penalty? It's not me moaning about VAR and it should have been a penalty. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, when it's not going your way, it's just not fucking going your way, is it?
I'm not annoyed at VAR anymore. What we talk about every time when it comes to VAR is the inconsistency of the referees in charge of VAR and how the system's used and what's a penalty and what isn't a penalty. But it is consistently shit, so we can't even talk about inconsistency anymore.
Consistently inconsistent.
Yeah, it's just, I've given up. I saw the Pogba penalty, and that gave me hope that every time one of our guys went into the box and fell over, that we'd get a pen. clearly not. You just know that United are going to get a penalty against us in a few weeks as well.
You just know it, don't you? You just know it. You just know they're going to get a penalty.
But yeah, I don't know. There was more computers on Mane. I think it could have been given. At the same time, it couldn't have been given. I mean, VAR is just, it is what it is, and it's something that we've got to deal with, and something I'm just done talking about because I don't want my night to be any more ruined than it already is.
Well, we'll end it there then. But let's see if we can get a positive. Doug, give us a positive to finish on, pal.
I think the big positive is the big break that's coming up now. We'll be fresh from Manchester United. I think they've got Burnley to play as well before they play us. So we'll be fresh going into that game. So hopefully praying that maybe Jota's back for that. I know James Pearson said he's back for the end of January, but fingers crossed he's back for that game, because if he is back, that would be a massive boost to us.
Yeah. One positive, and it's not Liverpool related. I just want to say, I know he scored against us, but I am chuffed that Danny Ings is actually performing really well for a Premier League club, because he would have been such a weapon for Liverpool. I rated him so much. I'm so upset to see him leave, but I love Danny Ings to bits. Bit pissed off he scored against us, but I love him to bits.
You tit.
Yeah.
Why did you say that, Matt? That's made me feel worse.
Yeah, it's made me feel 10 times worse. That made me feel 10 times worse. Right, well, we'll tell you what. We'll try and be back and be positive for the Aston Villa game. Change of competition, might change the scenery and all that sort of shit. Doug, thanks so much for coming on the podcast, mate. We really appreciate it. Definitely have to get you back on in more positive circumstances, So we appreciate it, mate. Honestly, we'll link Doug's channel to this show as well. Need to check it out, mate, 'cause it's growing really, really fast, and it's been absolutely fantastic. Mick, thanks very much, pal. As ever, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Matt, love you. I can't see you with that yellow shirt on, mate. Anyway, we'll see you next time when we'll try and be a lot happier.